Okay, so like I mentioned before, I am a total newbie at this. Well, not completely newbie. I was selling on Poshmark for a little bit, but this is a whole different ball game. So I am trying to make this my business. And there's a lot of things that I still have to learn. So I don't want to say that I know that I know how to do or claim to know that I have that much experience to be able to share tips that are really going to make a huge difference. But I will share some of the tips that I found, at least in the last few months of reselling. So here they are. So one of my biggest tips is keeping track of all your inventory. And this is huge. So what I do is I use a spreadsheet that I believe Rowena, oh gosh, I forgot her last name. Anyways, she put together a free spreadsheet that I will also link below that you can use. And I basically track my inventory, track how much I bought it for, basically the profit margin, shipping, all of that stuff. Because that's bookkeeping, I found, is really, really important. And especially if you're trying to do this full time, it's really important that at the end of the year when you're doing taxes and all of that not fun stuff, that you have all this information in one spot. Okay, tip number 2 is lighting. And this is something that I also struggle with. We have a terrible lit apartment, and then we have like one window. So I'm working with like almost close to nothing. So I bought a light source that I will link below, and there's a few other ones that I'm actually going to get myself to improve the quality of my pictures, because that's a huge thing for a person buying an item online, is to make sure that you are showcasing the product as it is in the best lighting possible, because that's, you just need to think of like how you would want to buy something, and basically implement that in your product imagery. So lighting and pictures. My third tip is to follow your gut. And what I mean by that is, I know there's a huge, awesome, really positive reseller community on Instagram, but I feel like I get caught up in kind of the name brand game, and what sells for someone might not sell for you. So I always go with my gut and what I think is cute or what I think is fashionable or trendy. That could be totally different for everybody. No one has the same fashion sense or style as you do. So whatever you're feeling at the moment, grab it, because someone else is probably also gonna like it. Okay, so I got a few questions, or I asked you guys to ask me a few questions on Instagram. And if you don't already follow me, it is at thrilloftheluxe, and I will leave it down here so you can go follow me. And so, Steph S715, who's my cousin, hi Steph, she asked me, what are your tips for taking photos and descriptions of items? So the photos, again, lighting is really important, and making sure you have like a clear background, or just like a minimal background, so that you don't distract people from looking at the actual thing that you want them to look at, which is the product. And then, like I mentioned, the lighting, having really good lighting. And I use my digital camera. I don't use my phone because I already have a million pictures of ghosts, so I don't want more pictures of my items on my phone. But I know a lot of people who just use their phone and have really high quality images. So okay, so I'm not sure if that portion got cut out or not, but basically we were talking about descriptions of items. So if you don't really know where to start, I usually start by looking up the item online, and usually if it's an in-season item, you can find that product online and use the description that brand used, and then maybe change it up a little bit. That information is out there, so why not use it? Any advice or tips on selling on eBay that would help us newbies? Yeah, so this was a question by Bourgeois Shoppers. I love that name, by the way. And I would say is to experiment. On Poshmark, I had been on there for, gosh, I want to say on and off for about 3 years, and that is pretty straightforward. So there's really no experimenting other than trying to find new ways of you know, putting together your closet or sharing or, you know, becoming a Posh ambassador. Those are some of the new things on there. But for eBay, oh my gosh, I just started eBay and it's a beast. So I started off by just kind of, and this is how I've taught myself how to video edit and create graphics, is to just experiment and start pressing buttons. I always tell my mom, just press a bunch of buttons and try to figure out what's going on. But what I do is I just go in and just click through the different drop-down menus and see what you're working with. And then based off of that, run mini experiments. So at first I was doing a lot of fixed priced products. And then, or not products, listings is the terminology. I was doing a lot of fixed price items. And then I heard that, I believe from the Deal Queen, I will leave her Instagram handle down below, that auctions are also a really good way of driving traffic to your store. So I started doing auctions, and I've seen some really great movement through auctions. Obviously, you have to keep in mind of the products that you're putting the auctions on. You have to have kind of like a lower amount that you want to sell that item for. So keep in mind, if you're trying to move your inventory, if you've had some stuff sitting for a while, put that stuff on auction and see how it does. You don't have to do like a lot of listings like that. Just do, you know, 5 or 6 and see how it goes. And if it starts, you know, picking up, then start moving some of the other stuff to auction. Try different things. Try auctions, try fixed price, try best offer, try free shipping, try all the things. Try all the things. So you can find your sweet spot. Okay, so that is pretty much a few tips that I found so far that have helped me on reselling